The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
If you would like to advertise your business on Conversations with Cupid, airing every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Instinct Radio, email us at shay@middleclassmatchmaker.com. That's shay@middleclassmatchmaker.com.
Hey, happy Thursday. Welcome to Conversations with Cupid. I'm your host, Shay, Middle Class Matchmaker Primus, and I'm so excited about our show. If you're new and you've not heard of our show, I am a certified matchmaker and dating coach, and this show is a platform for singles. We discuss dating and relationship topics, and tonight will be no different. Tonight, I'm joined by some sexy single ladies, and the topic tonight is dating while very attractive. So we're talking about very attractive women and how they date and their experiences with dating. We're going to find out from them what it's like dating being a very attractive woman. So I'm going to have you all introduce yourself. Marsha, you're no stranger to the show, so we'll start with you to introduce yourself, and then you guys can introduce yourself as well.
Okay, well, since we're kicking it in. My name is Marsha, like the Brady Bunch. Marsha Aileen, originally from Chicago. Been in Atlanta for 13 years. Went to Clark Atlanta University.
CAU?
Yes, and a flight attendant, author, working on my second book, and that is pretty much it.
Well, welcome to the show once again, and we'll go with you, Anastasia.
I'm Anastasia. I've been in Atlanta 6 years.
Okay.
And I work in construction, rental, and sales.
Okay. Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 30.
30. And you're
31.
Okay. And Divine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Divine, real estate agent in Atlanta, as well as a corporate sales director. Glad to be here.
Okay. Welcome to the show. All right. So we're going to get in. And, you know, what we're talking about last week, if you guys saw the show, we talked to some guys and asked them about their dating experiences being very attractive men, and I want to do the same with you ladies, because the first thing people think when they think of somebody, you know, very attractive is you got a lot of guys coming at you all the time, right? Is this true, or is that just an assumption, or like what? So tell me what it's like. I mean, I'm sure your inbox is not dry. I'm sure you're getting calls, texts, when you can't go to the mall without somebody trying to holler. Like, tell me what it's like.
It's a lie. That's a myth. I don't get approached. I get approached online a lot, but never in public.
Never in public?
Rarely. If I'm looking busted, I get approached.
It's
If I'm
always
dressed up,
when you're in like in sweats, you go to
Yeah.
the grocery store. That's when everybody wants to talk to you.
But when
Right.
you're all dolled up like this, nobody
it
approaches you.
like if I go out to a lounge or something, I'll get stared at, I'll get compliments, but I won't get approached. And I think, you know, that men will look at attractive women and they'll say, you know, they'll assume that you have a boyfriend already, you know, or they assume that if you don't have a boyfriend, you're crazy, or they'll assume you're high maintenance or bougie, or they assume
Are any of
that
these things true? Are you high maintenance? Are you bougie?
No. I'm a tomboy. I'm very humble. I'm the typical around the way girl.
Okay.
You know, but guys, they'll look at you and they already have a preconceived notion of, you know, what they think you are, or they think, oh, she only wants ballers, or she wants somebody to spend a lot of money on her.
And you don't.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but that's not, you know, I'm not a gold digger, so
Right.
I'm just, you know, I'll take a good guy, you know, with a decent job or whatever. But no, that's not what I'm after. But that's the assumption that, you know, women are, you know, looking for ballers if you're attractive or things like that. So they kind of talk themselves out of approaching you before they even approach you and get to know you.
So you think they might be a little intimidated by your beauty?
I
Or
think
a
so.
little-
They'll never admit it,
Right.
you know, and I think that's why I get approached a lot online, because,
Okay.
you know, they can hide behind
Online
a computer.
courage, yes.
Right,
So
exactly.
your inbox is not dry.
The inbox is lit.
So they're always inboxing you.
Yes.
What are they saying?
I don't read most of it, but it's typically it's typically it's calculated, so it's like after a picture post, you know, the inboxes tend to increase after a picture post, but it's too much. I don't even have time to go through that. It's
All right.
literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Marcia. So when you're out and about, are they approaching you? You're at the gym, wherever you are?
I'm not gonna lie. I keep my head down. I keep calling my mother, which I'm sure I get on her nerves. I don't have eye contact, and I mean that's partially the Chicago in me, which I just don't make eye contact. Coming to Georgia, it was like, this is uncomfortable, you know.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say it was in abundance. I can't say it's one of those things where people are like all on you like that. Maybe in the club setting, but like at the gym, you know, just keep your headphones on, keep your phone on. I think everybody gets hollered at, and that's just my opinion. I think
Everybody?
and I'm only saying
I always
that,
tell you now, everybody
I
does.
know what you say, but I see what men do, and I feel like as long as you have
Something.
a vagina, you know, I feel like as long as you've got a vagina, they hollering, and it's not because you're something special, it's because they have that opportunity. So I can't say there's anything special about me that's over another woman. I'm in the gym working out pretty much every day. You don't know me. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to social media, there's a certain delusion that comes with it.
So you seem approachable on social media.
It's not that I seem approachable. I think that people view themselves higher on social media in general.
So like Divine said, your inbox is lit then as well.
I can't say that. All I can say is I don't pay attention to things unless it's about business or unless you're approaching me in a different tactic with that good morning, good night, good evening can go to hell.
You don't even respond to those.
No, but if it's hey, and then you follow it up with like a sentence and you complete your words and you I'm just saying, I mean, real talk. And I'm hood. Let's not be clear, like we not finna sit up here and act like it has to be grammar appropriate.
So you're not checking for grammar?
No, I'm not checking for grammar. What I'm checking for is content. And so I just need your content to have something. Whether it is I appreciate this, or I want to know more about this, or I'm inquire about this, or you know, whatever it may be, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm an author. So if you're telling me, hey, I would like this event, can I have an opinion on this? I'm all day gonna reach back out to people, and there are people that could probably testify. I will respond all day to folks who have content, but I'm not about to respond to, hey, sexy. I'm just not.
Gotcha.
And
All
I think
right.
that's everyone.
I think it definitely
High
is
five
for me.
on that.
Anastasia, all right, so out and about, are you getting approached?
More so when I'm either just got off work or when I'm like going on that store run, hair's, you know, looking a mess, or I just left the gym, I look crazy. That's when they're more than likely to speak to me.
But they don't speak to you if you're all made up and dressed up.
Nah, I'll be dressed. I'm 6 foot tall, so the minute I put on heels, everybody's already
You're like 6'4".
Oh my god! So you walk in a room, especially when you're all dolled up, and they're like, they just like everybody just stares. And so, I mean, there's been times we've been at the bar and like somebody keeps staring. I'm finally like, are you gonna speak or are we just gonna look at each other? So yeah, it's definitely a lot of that just staring.
Just staring at you. All right, but when you're dressed down, they feel like you're more approachable and they approach you then.
I think that's what it is. My brother says it's like you're not as intimidating. I guess if you're like, you know, just chilling, then they're more likely to be like, oh, hey.
Right, gotcha. Do you find that if you're dressed down, they approach you as well?
All the time. The more busted I look, the more attention I get.
Yes.
It never fails. And then sometimes I'm like, what's wrong with you that you're trying to talk to me looking this crazy? I mean, I got hollered at with a bonnet on my head.
You
so
walked outside with a bonnet on?
I walked outside with a bonnet on.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Wait, when you're busted, do they approach you too?
Absolutely. Like 9 times out of 10, my house is in walking distance, a quick trip, and I will not get in my car. I'm gonna walk because I enjoy the walk. I'm going to have on my hooping shorts. I'm going to have on the best of the raggedy tees, and I'm going to look busted as hell. And yes, that is when but.
If you have on a hat or a bonnet, they'll
Man,
talk to you in
that
a
bonnet,
heartbeat.
that bun.
Bonnet,
Real
wait,
quick.
are y'all walking outside with these bonnets
With the
on?
bonnet completely
Girl.
on and will
Yes.
not care.
My
And
hair, the
that's where they
edges
will
will
talk to
be
you.
all the way sweated out.
Do-rag
The bun
also.
will be lit.
Do-rag. And then when you take it off, you still got the line across
They
your
still
forehead.
hollering.
They still hollering. But let
But
me
that's
be
why
cute.
I said there's women across
Nothing.
the board. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
why I
women
don't-
across the board.
Yeah,
but
it's women across the board.
I think that, do you think that you have access to certain men that some women won't have? Like, for example, if y'all are out at the club, you're out at the club, the cutest guy in the club, you're able to look at him and go, oh, he's fine. And by the end of the night, he's speaking to you.
I think that's by definition, because what I might find attractive, you might not find
Of course,
that attractive.
of course.
But I do think, like, if there's a man that I'm attracted to, and everybody else is like, damn, you know, like, I speak to him, he's like, oh, I'm your type, and I'm like, well, I mean, yeah.
So you can let me ask you this: have you ever encountered a dude that you were like, oh, he is very fine, and are you able to get the guys that you want? That's really my question.
All the time.
You're able to get the guys you
But
want.
it's not because of looks.
You
It's
can't
because
say
of-
that. You
no,
can't say
I'm
it.
going to say it because it is. What is it? Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and as a man thinks, so he is. Honestly, those two things have carried me far in life. So I see a man, and this is more in my younger years. Like when I was 21, 22, I saw a man. I thought he was fine. He's gonna be my husband. In my mind, he asked for my number at the end of the night. It never failed, and that's because of the confidence I had then.
Yes, but
You know,
Marsha, you
in
can
life-
be confident, like, cause I think in your head you're just like anybody can do this, but everybody can't.
Because
I'm trying to tell her this all the time.
But
I
it's
think it
because
is
of a certain
confidence.
level of confidence I've seen.
You have confidence, yes,
But
and
it's not
amen.
about, and it's not because of that. It's because of the power of manifestation. At the
I
end of the
believe
day.
that,
And I
yes.
think that honestly, the most non-attractive woman in the room can carry herself with abundance and still attract that because
I
she
agree
carries it.
that-
And so that's all I'm
But
saying.
she can't get anybody in the world.
Technically, yeah, because
It's-
everybody
it's-
got
it's
their
how
level
you
up.
carry yourself.
Now, honestly, everybody, I don't care how fine you think they are, everybody corny. Everybody
To some
lame.
degree, yeah.
Everybody weird. We all have our percentage of whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So I call myself corny and weird all the time. I don't care what you think. I know my level of corn, and it's what it is. And you either
You
rock
said
with
you
it,
know your level of corn.
you either rock with my corn or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to put myself above somebody because you think I look a certain way. And at the end of the day, that's why y'all wouldn't be sitting up here like how Jay-Z got Beyonce. Y'all wouldn't be looking like how Jermaine Dupri got
Janet.
Regardless of money, at the end of the day, that money came with confidence, where Rick Ross and his lazy eye can go pull all of the models of America. Or somebody recently got with somebody, and I'm like, as a woman, I think people look
Like 21 Savage and Amber Rose.
not even that. Jesse,
Yeah.
Jesse, whatever, and his girl, the one that's like all woke, the light skinned pretty guy. Is
Oh,
his name Jesse?
yeah. His wife, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody looked at her and came at her neck like, okay, you know,
Mhm.
she's not that
She's
cute.
basic, yeah.
she looked basic, and I'm like, there's obviously something she got that
She's
you
also
don't.
very smart, yeah.
So it's not about what you look like. At the end of the day, it's what you can attract by here.
No, I think that. I definitely
But
believe
because
that.
people are gonna approach you off of physicality,
People do
regardless.
approach based off physical, and like for example, I don't know if y'all have ever seen this show called The 90 Day Fiance, but I am like addicted to the show. There is a lady, I don't want to say any names, but man, she is like a 2, okay, and like straight up, like she's like 48, and she's very very frumpy looking, and she's like not attractive at all, and she married this guy. She fell in love with this guy who's from another country. He's gorgeous. He's like a 9, like he just popped out of a magazine, and he's 20 years younger. And I think anybody watching would say, "Girl, he don't want you. He just coming over here to get the green card." But in her mind, she really thought he was in love with her. Soon as the green card came, 2 months later, out. He's gone. And
Damn.
she's like, "But you're supposed to love me." And I'm like, "Ma'am, you're delusional. There was no way." Like this is me looking at it like there was no way that was gonna work. But anyway, in
I know
her
what you
mind, she really believed that he wanted her, that he loved her. And so it's possible to be confident and still
No,
not-
and I agree with that because that's that whole lane conversation that people
yes,
had.
but it's possible to be confident. You could be confident as I don't know what, but you know.
But I do
Reality
think,
is reality.
Reality is, and if we're gonna speak specifically to social media, reality is on social media a lot of people project their insecurities. At the end of
Yeah,
the
I
day.
see it a lot.
And so what ends up happening is that these people actually look better than they think they do, or they look worse than they think they do. It's on either side of the spectrum, and I can't tell people where to fall. It's just kind of like your reality is not. Some people are photogenic, some people are not, and they fall where they may. But I don't really know what it will take for social media delusions to disappear because it's here.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who are delusional.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, to your point, you said social media gives people boldness. And you were just saying that as well. Some people do feel like they may not have approached you face to face, but they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to holler at her and see what she say," knowing full well it's not even gonna happen. But they have a boldness about them because she my Facebook friend, so I can holler at her.
Right,
so it's like a we're here because you're my Facebook friend. You know what I mean?
Or if you like a picture, they think they got a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a picture, they're gonna shoot their shot. So
Yeah.
No.
you know.
There's those people that come in your inbox and you look at their profile and you're like, I wouldn't talk to you in person, and you know that.
Example.
This is my point. This is my
Good
point.
example. The post you made, Beyonce, Halle Berry, Idris, whatever. You got people on social media saying 4.
Get out.
I was like, yo, the moment that somebody gives Beyonce a 4, you're going to click on their profile. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You're going to click on their profile and you're going to be like, you look like,
Right. You know, and Beyonce is my best friend, so in my mind, I was like, I know this heifer
like
didn't say
you over here
Beyonce
looking
is
like,
a 4. I
Right.
know.
you over here looking like Seal, and you giving Beyonce a 4. Like, I'm trying to understand. You know, there's never a day in life you should give her lower than a 7. I don't care if you don't like her.
Ever.
And I'm not even a Beyonce fan.
I'm not a Beyonce
I'm
fan.
not a Beyonce
You don't
fan.
have to, you don't have to be a Beyonce
You
fan.
can't give her no 4.
But you can't give her no 4.
Because if she's a 4, then everybody else is what? 0.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
I mean, you know,
Negative.
that's gonna drop the bar all the way down.
Right.
Like, let's just be honest.
So
But
you
yeah,
giving Beyonce a 4, you giving Holly a 5. I'm like,
I saw
y'all.
dudes doing it, and women were doing that too.
And they were, and I clicked, did you do the same? Because everybody did it. We all clicked on their profile picture, and you swipe about 5 times to give them the benefit of the doubt. We're going to swipe 3 more times to make sure you ain't tripping. And then you see, like, you looking like Ursula.
No.
I cannot. Like, let's be clear. Because it's not even on some shade stuff.
No, it's real.
You got to be in touch with yourself. I don't care. And I preach confidence. I do. But I also preach reality.
People don't have a good reality. Just like on the post
But
yesterday.
You can't tell nobody they look bad. You
No,
cannot
and
tell
that's- and
It's
anybody
not
they
about
look
telling
bad.
people look
That's
bad.
what I'm not-
It's your
she
level.
might look like Ursula, but she don't
She's
believe
her
she
version
looks
of
like Ursula.
Okay, and Ursula
Who
was
is
bad in
Ursula?
her own
the
right.
mermaid, the witch.
The sea. But you know what? Back to yesterday. Yesterday, y'all got a little shade from some folks. Like,
Okay,
Jade, a
where's she
little
at?
bit.
Is she
That was a
gonna?
whole tree.
She needs to call.
Like,
We're gonna need
no,
you to call in.
that's my girl,
B.
but B.
We need you to call in, B.
call in.
Okay, so let's be clear. Let's be clear.
478
Let's touch on this before.
56964.
Let's touch
that
on this.
first little bit
Call.
did sound like shade, so she had to clarify herself. That first little bit, I was
It
like,
was
wait a minute.
shade.
And
Wait
then
a
you
minute.
That
came
was
with
shade.
pictures like, well, this is why we were chosen. And you posted the picture.
Oh, I missed
Yeah.
all of this.
No,
God.
that
Wait a
was. She
minute,
was.
that wasn't me. I didn't do
No,
that.
that was
It was either-
Mara.
oh, it was
Mara
Mara,
did
okay.
that. But
I
that
was
was
like, wait a
Shady
minute.
B. You are Miss Shady Boots.
But hold on.
Shady
So
Boots.
on the post
Her name
yesterday,
was
when I
Faith.
made the announcement of we were doing
Oh,
this
yeah.
show, there were a couple questions that were asked. One of them was, how are these people chosen? The other one was, what makes a woman attractive? Isn't this a shallow question? It was just like things like that. And y'all got a
And
little.
then she said, "Was this an open poll? Like, were these people chosen by poll?" And I was like,
Well, I
No,
mean,
she was.
Okay,
She was
so-
pretty much like, well, what makes them
makes them
attractive?
attractive?
Okay, so
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
were people chosen? In the group was tags. Let's be clear. Was there a poll? No. What makes people attractive? Whatever the hell you think that is. And it doesn't mean that I'm attracted to what you're attracted to. What I've discovered in my lack of education in this area, I think people are attracted to their own features. That's why people are attracted to what they're attracted to. Oh, they look like brother and sister. Oh, y'all look like cousins. It's because you like your own face. There's no shade to no one.
and maybe this is me calling. Hey, welcome to Conversations with Cupid. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Hi, this is Brittany Hubbard.
Hey, you're Marsha's best friend.
Brittany.
Hey, Brittany.
I
And,
am. Hello. Well, of course, I just had to call in to say how beautiful you ladies are. And, just wonder where the fine brown girls were that were in there. Look, I'm being petty. But I just wanted to say
Marsha's
hello.
brown, but I also
and-
invited Mara, and she's on the way.
I just wanted to say hello, and let's not even talk about the shade. I want to keep the conversation going because I feel like the same way it kind of took over the post last night, it could potentially take over again, and we're not here for that. So y'all be beautiful and keep it with the questions, and, let us hear more about being attractive and dating.
Hey, well, no shade to chocolate. I love chocolate.
No, Brittany's my best friend, so that's just
and
what it
Brittany's
is.
beautiful. But Brittany, let me ask you, because I know you're in a relationship, but let me ask you your perception of this. So, when you were single, because I know you're not available, you're not on the market now, but when you were single and on the market, I have to clarify because I don't want Andre calling in. When you were on the market, did you find that you had lots of options? Were men just like coming at you all the time? Or they might still be coming at you. I don't know. But can you shed some light to your situation?
Okay, so when I was single, I don't want to sound, and I'm kind of like
Brittany
Marsha,
had more
and
choices
we
than
hardly
me.
ever agree, by the way. But for her to say, yes, of course people were in my inbox, and yes, people are
More
still
than
in my
me.
inbox, whether they know I'm in a relationship or not. So it just happened, and to the point of I don't know whether it's maybe they think I'm attractive, maybe they thought I was cool. I don't think I'm the prettiest chick ever, but I also don't think I'm ugly. But to the same point, I'm confident in myself. So yeah, I did have I always have had options.
Brittany always had more options than me. She had more likes than me, more inboxes than me. She can front if she want to. I love you though.
Really?
You better be
Brittany?
humble.
And you have a very attractive man too. So as two attractive people, I'm sure you both have fans, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure he does. We don't really discuss anything unless it is, a little bit extra, but to this day, nothing's ever been too extra. So it is what it is. And I like attractive people. But attractive to me may not be attractive to anybody else.
Exactly.
I like attractive people, So
Yeah.
to that point, people can't really be. I don't like the fact that people are almost offended by this. Like,
There's no reason to be.
there are people that majority people are going to say are attractive. They may not think they're the finest person in the book, but you're going to look at a particular individual. Like, I don't think anybody's going to look at these ladies on this show
And say anybody's
they're
ugly. That's my
They may say,
but no, that was my
they're not
point
the
when I
finest
made the post.
people ever, but
Somebody gonna say
nobody's
she
going to say
There's
you guys
a-
aren't
if
attractive.
anybody
Like, you would be
Somebody,
silly to
No.
if
say.
Beyonce is 4,
No, if anybody
we
calls,
ugly as hell.
if
up in
anybody
here.
calls any of y'all ugly, they are, and I'm gonna look at their picture.
But-
if they
but-
do.
but before-
to your point,
but-
to your point, I'm gonna look at their picture if they call any of y'all ugly. I bet you.
Let me say hi to
They
my
gonna be
cousin
hating.
Sean while you hating in the comments.
They gonna
Hey
be
cousin.
hating. Because
Y'all so crazy.
because y'all
But I'm
because
going to
y'all
get
are
back to
beautiful.
watching, so y'all keep
Thank
it
you,
going.
Brittany.
I'm going to be in the comments myself.
You won't be in the
and,
comments being
I'll be
family and
listening
hating.
more.
Ain't nobody got time for
All
that.
right, we got another caller. Hey caller, welcome to Conversations with
So watch
Cupid.
it, so y'all keep it going. I'm going to be in the comments myself.
Hello?
I'll be listening more.
Wait, another caller. This is another caller.
So watch it, so y'all keep it going. I'm going to be in the
Hello? Can you hear
It's too
me?
much. I can't. It's too much. I don't know what's going on. It's too much. That was too much. I don't know what that was. But anyway, if anybody calls any of you ladies ugly, they're delusional. I mean, now they can say she's not my type. That's not who I would date. But they can't say that you're ugly.
I would rather you say that because I know personally, like, it took a while. Like, I lost a whole lot of weight. I had to grow into my height because being 6 foot tall it's not normal for a girl. Not on an everyday basis. I don't walk down the street every day and see girls my height.
Right.
So for me, I had to grow into that, and I still come to these moments where I'm like, whoa. But at the same time, like, I may not be your type, but I am somebody else's
You
type.
might
Girl,
not
you
be
fine,
somebody's
though.
type, but
you
no.
know what?
But I'm saying for somebody to look at you and say she's ugly,
There's no way.
They're
Oh, I'm not
delusional.
worried about
They're-
this. I
I mean,
like
I'm-
what
I'm
I see
saying
when I
that's-
look back in the mirror.
that's
I
not
like this.
But what I'm saying is that's not up for debate.
Oh, no.
In my opinion, that's not up for debate. It's not debatable. So if somebody looks at you and says that, they're absolutely hating. That's just my opinion. There's no way.
Hey, I said,
now
if
you
you
might
don't like it,
say
somebody else
you might
does.
say I'm not attracted to her or she's not my type. But just to flat out say you're ugly,
That's
I don't
not
see
okay.
it.
I'm not.
Yeah,
No.
that's a lie.
All right, we have a caller. Hey caller, welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Hey, this is Sean. Can you guys hear me?
This is who?
Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Sean Anthony from LA. How are you guys?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing good. I just called in because I love the topic of this show. I know you guys had the men on last week, and I felt like you picked the perfect ladies for the panel.
Yeah,
like
I think so too.
any woman who thinks that you didn't pick the right women, something's wrong.
They have
I
to be
think you
hated.
picked some of the most beautiful women in the group.
I think so too.
Now, if they're, hating, then that's their own insecurities. But everybody on this panel that you have today is absolutely gorgeous.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
There were some other beautiful ladies too, but we can only hold so many. So it doesn't mean that there weren't others, right? So I want to clarify that because I think some people felt a little offended because of that. I don't know.
There's beautiful women. They
I
be
mean,
so
they
underground. That's why I try to
Offended,
tag them.
but whoever showed up, showed up. I'm just saying for the girls who are there today that showed up, and whoever else you may have tagged in the post to promote this particular show today, everyone you picked is gorgeous. Now, if they didn't get picked, who knows? I mean, it's a lot of people in the group, but who you have on today, they're a direct representation of beautiful women.
I think so too. Yep, I agree. Yep. So did you
I
have
think
did
so
you have
too.
a
That's
question?
my personal opinion.
Oh, you just wanted to call in to say that. I agree with you totally. Amen.
Oh, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And say, hey, girls. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, boo.
Thank you for calling. Okay, and that
All
was
right,
really.
well.
Thank you, Sean. That was really my whole point. Like, just like when I made the post, I was trying to say that there are some people who are universally attractive. What I mean by that is you're not going to look at that person and say that person's ugly. Now, they might not be your type. They might not be what you would go for, but you can't look at them and say, that person's butt ugly. If you do that, you're delusional.
Because you posted Boris.
Hater.
I'm not attracted to Boris at all, but I'm not going to call that man ugly.
He's
He
not
is a
ugly.
fine specimen. Not my fine
He's not.
specimen.
He might not be your type.
Yeah, not
but
at all. But Boris is gorgeous.
There's no way you can deny that.
You
yeah.
can't. There's no denying
And that's
that.
my point. That's what I mean. Even with like Holly Berry, there were people who were saying, "Oh, she's just a 6." I'm like, really? Okay.
I mean, what's
so,
the scale?
I
What
don't
are they
know.
basing this on?
But the people who were saying it, it's like, but you couldn't pull her if you tried. Like, what are you talking
Not at
about?
all.
There is no planet in which you would get her. There's
Not
no
planet.
reality in which this would be
no
possible.
Planet, no universe, none
No, and so from what I do, I have to be aware of what's attractive. What do men find attractive? I have to be aware of that. That's part of my job. I have to be aware of what ladies find attractive. I have to be aware of what that looks like. That's part of my job. And understanding that, it's interesting because it allows me to be honest and say, well, you are beautiful. Well, you are attractive, and leave it at that. And it doesn't mean, if somebody's offended and they're like, well, what makes them very attractive? What makes them very attractive is the majority of people would agree that they are very attractive. The majority of people. So they're not borderline, maybe. No, they're legitimately attractive. So let's just cut the chase. All right, so let's talk about the type of men that you all date or that you are attracted to. Because I got to ask that question.
I like them ugly.
All the way down.
I like them. I like big bellies.
There's always one. There's always one. That's what you
No,
was
She was
looking
looking
at.
at big bellies earlier.
No, I
She was
don't. I
flipping through the
don't.
calendar like,
She
where
was
the
like,
dude?
where the belly?
We're like, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I don't want
like
a pretty
belly, but
boy. Like I don't
Ricky
like the
get it.
pretty boy
No
that
offense.
stays
Ricky get
in
it.
the
No
gym.
lie.
Like I can't.
You don't
I
like
can't
that.
do the pretty boy that stays in the gym, that posts all the selfies, flexing his muscles. I can't do. I don't want to do that. I just like average guys. I don't like over pretty attractive women
You need to
because
be
I'm
the only
too.
pretty one in the picture.
Not that. I'm just territorial, and I just don't have time
Yeah.
to be fighting chicks
Yeah.
over, these heart. I just don't,
Heart
So it's
eyes
all
on the
about
picture.
I don't got time. It's all about the inside. So if you line up like everybody I dated, everybody looks completely different. Like there's not a specific type. So.
But
know.
you don't
But
like pretty
his
boys.
teeth got to go all the way to the back. That's all I ask for.
Man, none of that
All the way
side
to the
gap,
back.
that side-
Yeah,
where did
none of
that come from?
I don't know.
Where do you have that
You
side
got
gap? Where
flaws.
does that,
Yeah,
like,
you don't
side
need,
gap
yeah,
come
that's
from?
all I
I
ask.
can't
That's
take
my
it.
minimum
An extraction.
requirement.
That's where it comes from.
Wait, I've seen people
Because
like
a lot
that.
of people
What is
eat
that?
candy at night and they go to bed. Okay, so let me be clear. I went to dental school for a year. I worked at James Collins Dental right here by Clark.
Okay.
Literally, and everybody's teeth was terrible.
In the dentist
Yeah,
office?
because we're in this area.
Oh, here. Where
Yeah,
people
so
don't
like,
get
yeah,
dentals, like
most
here.
people do not go to the dentist twice a year. They do not get their cleaning. They do not get
It's
their checkups.
expensive.
It is
Yeah.
expensive, and if you don't have insurance, I get
Yeah.
it. So most people get extractions because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, people got them dead teeth. Dead tooth in the front, dead tooth in the back. And the best thing you can do to
It's
keep
dead.
your breath from smelling is to get it removed. Because y'all be complaining about people's breath stinking. It's not always halitosis, it's cavities. It is dental. It's dental as hell. And it goes to, I mean, it's further than what it is. But all I got to say is where it comes from is extractions.
Man.
Fellas, I'm
at
gonna
least
need
they
y'all
got
to
it
floss.
removed.
They have two.
At least they got it
Floss your
removed.
teeth. Floss your teeth. Don't eat candy because side teeth in black men are becoming extinct like edges on women.
I'm over.
Like edges on women, they're becoming extinct.
I can't take it. She said side teeth.
32 teeth.
Oh yes,
I
and
can't take
if you were back in the day when your mama used to get them silver caps, please get them fixed. That's all.
No, you got to get
ask.
them removed because they're
Please
dangerous.
Get those fixed.
It's mercury.
They're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's a whole nother.
That's a whole other topic. I had to get my soror Angela on when we started talking about teeth because she's
Yes,
a dentist.
dentist.
Yeah. Okay. Back. So you like your men to not be pretty and not be in the gym.
I mean, they could be in the gym to tone. I'm talking like, the ones that stay in the mirror
So none of
and
these
stay
men
with
in
the.
this calendar would be your type.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I mean, to look at, but not no.
Not to date.
Mm-mm.
Why is that?
Because been there, done that, and I mean, my longest relationship was with someone that looks like that. Great, and actually, it's probably the best relationship I've
Really?
ever had. But as you get older, you look more for substance and what's on the inside than muscles and all of that stuff.
Gotcha.
So
So
yeah,
you're just done with that.
I wouldn't say I'm done, but I would be open to like a pretty dude with muscles and pecs and all of that. But
Do you
it's
still want
not
children?
it's not my number one choice. I'm good on
You don't have
babies
to-
right
okay.
now.
All right, Marcia. What type? What's your type? What kind of guy are you interested in?
A man that's ambitious. Like the commonality between all my exes is ambition. Before somebody tries to roast, because I know somebody will. Across the board, none of my exes look alike. None of them have degrees.
Really?
Zero.
That's shocking.
None of them have degrees. My ex from college played football, but he didn't graduate. My ex after that was he was a road manager in the music industry, no degree. My ex after that, who he probably can see this because he's in your group, but he doesn't comment. He's a motivational speaker, and he doesn't have a degree. And honestly, it's not necessarily the top thing on my priority. My thing is, do you have goals? Do you have vision? Do you have dreams? It has literally nothing to do with physical because, as I've stated multiple times, my brothers who are conceited, cocky, arrogant, the epitome of somebody who is full of themselves, they call all my exes ugly.
Oh, really?
They call all my exes ugly. And it's not that my exes are ugly. I think they're cute to me. My homegirls are not attracted to my exes, and I know they watching, and they know they're not attracted to my exes. But I'm attracted to ambition. I'm attracted to drive, goals, vision. That's what I'm attracted to. So,
And height.
And height. That's the common
Okay.
the common theme with that. Yes, the physical aspect is height. I will admit to that. I've dated no man seriously, not no 2 week stuff. So I don't care if nobody try to throw shade. Boyfriends have never been under 6'3".
I can't deal with Jam. Okay. Her boyfriends have not been under 6'3". Okay.
Where they at?
Girl.
I cannot find.
Maybe they're in Chicago. All right, Anastasia. What type of men are you attracted to?
I ain't got no type.
You don't have a type
No,
at all.
I'm just playing. Honestly, a lot of it, I had to think back. 'Cause I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, and I had to think back of what all went wrong with the people that were in my life before, the things that went wrong. And the one thing about that I look for in that person is that friendship. It's that support. It's that friendship. So for me, the main thing I'm looking for is that friendship, but it comes with that keys of having ambition. I'm a very determined person. There's nothing that if I see something and I want it, I go after it. So I expect the same from them. I don't want to have to push someone else, I want them to push me as well. And I unfortunately have a height requirement.
And you're 6 feet tall.
I am 6 foot, yes.
And how tall does he need to be?
I just ask that we look eye to eye. That's all I ask.
So that means he needs to be 6.
No, eye to eye. You know, 5'10" is eye to
Oh,
eye. You know,
5'10",
they might be
okay.
like that a little bit,
okay.
but you know, it'll work.
Huh? Do you have
No heels. No heels.
like when
She
you
said
have
eye to eye,
no
no
heels, they need
heels.
to be eye to eye.
Oh yeah, they need to be elite. 5'9" is pushing the
Is
limit.
your dad tall?
6'3",
And your mom is
5'11".
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
everybody's tall.
My little brother is 6'9". So
He's
come
6'9"?
I come from giants.
Your whole family's
My whole
giant.
family is tall.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So even the 5'9" dude is gonna be short in your house.
Because most 5'9" dudes lie. Anybody under 5'10",
Oh my God, no, you meet somebody online, they be like, oh,
they be like, I'm
6 foot,
5'10",
I'm 6
and they-
foot.
Oh yeah,
You
they
pull up and
Anybody
you're like,
5'10" and shorter
It's
is
5'8".
2 inches
5'8"
shorter than
lie.
what they say.
Yep.
No,
Every
they do.
single
5'8".
man.
They
They'll
do.
swear up and down. I'll
5'8".
show up. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm 6 foot. I'm 6 foot." I'll show up and I'm like, "You're like 5'9", 5'10" at the best." And they're like, "No, you got to be like 6'1", 6'2". Never. I'm actually 5'11" and a half if you want to be technical about it. I've never even hit 6.
So you can tell they're a lot shorter.
Oh, yeah.
I've experienced that too, because I'm 5'9", so I've experienced men lie and say they were 6 feet, and you pull up and it's like, sir, don't even.
Because they feel like
Why did you try
they feel like the NBA, the NFL lies, so I can lie too.
No.
Like,
No.
you know,
Yeah,
I'll
no.
give those 2 extra inches. Like, I'm not gonna come face to face
Because
with
women
you.
don't lie about our height. Now, we might lie about our weight, but
we're
we're
not gonna lie about
We ain't
our
gonna lie about our height. I might take an inch off my height. I might be an inch shorter than I really
Oh,
am.
but short men love me. If anybody
They are
is
tall
anybody
women.
is going to approach me when I go out, a short man has the biggest nerve
Really?
ever. They got all the lines in the book when they walk up to me. I'll be
Really?
like,
They
what are we
love
gonna do?
you.
Oh yes. They'll be, oh, I climb trees. I love tall glasses of water. I mean, in a heartbeat, they got all the lines when it comes down to it. Are we all the same height when we lay down? Unfortunately, no,
Yeah,
we're not.
they
You're
give
still
all the
smaller than
lines.
me when we lay down.
We're
And
not.
So
it
that's
is
what I
how
was
it
going
works.
to ask. Like, is that true? Because I don't understand what that means. So when you lay down, are you?
Height has nothing to do with peen, so
I'm
let's
trying to
scratch all
understand.
that down.
But see, here's
Yeah,
the
that
thing,
ain't got nothing to do
and
with it.
some
No.
people say I'll discriminate. I'm not discriminating. I have tried. I tried 5'7", and I'm
You dated a dude
no
that was 5'7".
lie. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Wow.
No lie. This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. We were out, and we walked past a group of basketball players, and I hid from him. I literally
You
ran.
hid from
I hid from him. I was so embarrassed.
Oh.
I could not tower over a man like that and feel comfortable to
Yeah.
be like, I want to be with you. I just was so embarrassed. I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I hid from him, and I
You
felt
hid from
so
him.
bad. Yes, he was like looking for me, and I felt so
I
bad.
saw a video the other day of a girl who was 6'1", and her man is 5'4". Like, it's drastic. They look like this, literally.
Oh, I have a homegirl who's 6'3", and she loves short men. She loves them, and I'm
loves
like,
them.
It is what it is.
But how you, I
It
mean,
is
so
for
you gotta
everybody.
like lean down to kiss him and pat him
Oh,
on his.
You gotta pick
You
him
gotta
up.
pick
too.
him up.
That
See,
bo-
I can't.
that
I
bothered me too, because he walked up to kiss me one day. He like pushed me against the wall, and I was like, oh,
I
This
can't.
ain't
Hey,
gonna
we
work.
got a call. Hey, caller, welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Man, when I was on that last week, all I heard from y'all is talk with some pussy. Y'all need to talk with some substance, man.
Is this
That's
Andre?
lucky.
No, that's Lucky.
That's lucky.
Hey, Lucky.
Well, hey, and I'm waiting for the
What substance though? You got a question with substance? Because we talking about superficial stuff.
Huh?
So do you got a question with substance?
Yeah, I'm just telling y'all to give me some more substance.
And I'm telling you to ask a question.
To do last week. You know what I'm saying? I just called to let y'all know, give us some more substance.
All right,
like
so
y'all want
Lucky
the men.
wants to know of substance. What substantive things are you looking for in the man?
You know what I'm saying? Like, the size is one thing. Like,
Shout
I ain't
out,
saying
Lucky.
You can say I ain't 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, you know what I'm saying? But y'all always try to subtract the niggas, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 inches. But I'm 6 foot and stage is size 11 and a half. I know I've been
Come
standing next to it.
on.
But what your credit
You're
score
not 6
is?
foot,
What's
Lucky.
your
You can
what
argue
your
that all
credit
you
score
want.
is?
You're
What
not
your credit
6
score
foot.
is?
You're like this much.
No,
older.
I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him at all because we got it, Nate.
Y'all
was
did.
he?
Yeah, we
Yes,
did.
like
So
Lucky,
we
like
was all in the
did.
box.
Nah, I respect this 100%.
So, okay, let's ask some more
Yeah.
substantive questions. I wanted to get that off the bat because just in case somebody thought they were bold enough to holler at you, I want them to go ahead and know off the bat that they
No, I'm
couldn't.
about to get out of the line, though. I just called the message out.
Thank
I
you,
give some
Lucky.
substance because evidently us attractive men with the quotes wasn't something enough for y'all last week. I just want to hear y'all.
People thought what you said was full of substance.
Honestly, people was Team Lucky, so shout out to you.
Everybody was Team Lucky. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Lucky. I appreciate
y'all
you.
know I'm a fool, man. All right.
Thank you. All right. So, what's something of substance that you look for, Anastasia?
Honestly, it comes down to that support. Honestly, I'm looking for someone who is going to be my friend. At the end of the day, you're someone who I have that friendship with. So the same way I had a guy I was talking to, and he says, "You talk to me like I'm your homeboy, like I'm your homegirl, like I'm trying to talk to you." And I said, "But I need to have that relationship with you." So at the end of the day, like if something goes on in my life, whether it's something minor or something major, I should be able to pick up the phone and call you the same way I would call one of them. So for me, I want that friendship. And I'm looking for someone who has that initiative and that ambition to step forward, because I am a very dominant woman. I'm a very strong woman. Oh, yeah, because I was raised by a woman in the military, so she was a very dominant woman. So,
and you're a Capricorn?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Capricorn.
So, definitely a very dominant woman. So I need a man who's going to be like, yo, I got this.
You have to have that.
And,
I have that too.
And
I would run all over him if he wasn't
right.
Like
and if
that.
I can, and see, some women are out here and they'll take a man who they'll that pushover, and I can't do it because I'm gonna get annoyed with you. So just walking on you is not enough for me. I need somebody who I can have that balance with. So if I don't have that balance, I need that ambition. I need that friendship. I need somebody that I can be submissive with, not stupid, but submissive. And somebody who I can be like, okay, babe, you're right. I trust you enough to be like, all right, you got this.
I'll fall back. Yeah.
Right.
No, I agree. All right, Divine.
Okay, definitely he has to have a silly side because I'm super goofy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just a fool. I'm foolish. So he has to have a silly time too. A silly side also, because I just can't be clowning and he just looking at me like, be silly. And also, some skills in the kitchen because I'm greedy. I like to eat.
Cook?
I cook too.
But you want him to cook.
Yeah, I want him to cook too. I want him to cook. So, and then, and also what's important to me, because I'm super, super smart. So I would like to have someone that I can learn something from, because it seems like in most of my relationships, I'm always teaching, so, to have someone that's, that I can learn something from. I love a nerd, like a nerd
Nerds are sexy.
can get it. Like I love a nerd, a silly nerd, we could have a baby. Seriously.
Now, do you have a height preference?
I do.
You do, because you're 5'9".
I'm 5'9".
So what's your height preference?
I would prefer 6 feet, but I actually stepped out of the box and dated someone under 6 feet, and fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, he was just so awesome that I didn't even see, the height thing. So, but yeah, 6 feet minimum would be great. I'm 6'1" with heels. So, I don't want to be walking down the street and look like I'm walking a dog, because he's 5'4". So, height is nice. Height is nice. And I'll even scale back some of his attractiveness for a few inches.
If he's tall enough, he can be uglier.
Yes. Yeah, I'll scale back
if you get
for some
that really,
inches.
really tall man, you will scale back.
And you will.
For some reason, if you get a man who's like 6'6", 6'7",
Right.
you be like, all right.
Yeah.
I can deal with a little.
Right.
No, and I don't know. It's something about it. You'll be
That's
like,
hilarious.
you will.
serious.
You'll look twice like,
Yes,
oh,
a couple
okay.
of inches and a beard will raise him up a little bit
Yeah,
on an ugly scale.
That's 6'5" and up. That 6'5" and up give you some good looks to you. You don't know why.
Hilarious.
That's funny.
All right, Marsha, what's the substance you're looking for?
That's gonna sound so crazy. I just want someone who actually likes me. And that sounds so simple, but for me, like someone who actually likes me as a person. I think there are men that like to lay with me. I think there are men that like to be out with me, but I don't think there's people who actually like me as a person, that likes me as a human, that likes my weird, quirky ways, that likes my overactive brain, that likes my sarcasm, that likes the fact that I'm just 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say shit off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just say it because it's the first thing on my mind. And it's just a backstory. I remember my ex calling my mom after me and him got into an argument. I was 25, and he said all the stuff that was wrong with my mom. Asked, "Do you even like her?" And
Where he was like, "I don't like this about her. I don't." Like
Yes, he listed off all the stuff to my mother.
Wow.
I threw my mom.
You got to be real bold to do that.
Yeah, like I
bold.
threw, because he came home with me for my mom's 50th birthday party, and I mean, he cussed me out probably the entire time I was there. I'm used to being in very verbally abusive relationships. Like, a lot of men feel like they can just say some stuff to me, and I accept it. And I get it, because I do have a very hood Southside Chicago Wild Hunteds background. I get it, but I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to go into the second part of what I'm saying. But I don't think there are men who actually like me, and I think that I've been in the past attracted to abuse. I've been attracted to emotional, verbal, physical abuse, and I don't think that was the best. I know that wasn't the best for me. I know
Absolutely not.
I was attracted to the wrong thing. I said it on my Snapchat one night because I had to be honest with myself. Like, you are attracted to niggas.
You're right. No filter.
She
Keep
took
it going.
straight to Southside
Right.
Chicago.
That's
You're
right.
attracted to men who don't like you. They really just think you are good to lay in bed with, and that's it.
They don't like
They don't
you.
like me. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
They try to tell me that I ain't ish. They try to tell me that
They try to break you down.
They break me down, and I'm used to it. I'm used to it. So what I
Why
realized,
do you think you were attracting those people?
I know I was attracting those things because that was the level I could handle things at the time because of just things I went through in my upbringing. So just to follow it up, at the end of the day, I need somebody that brings out the best in me, not the worst in me. I
Absolutely.
need somebody that uplifts me,
Yeah.
not downplays me. I need somebody that fills me up, not drains me.
Yes,
And that's just
yes,
that's what I'm
yes,
looking for in a man,
yes.
because there are people who can meet me and say I am the best. There are people who can meet me, say I'm funny. There are people that can meet me and say I'm a bitch, and all of them are right. It's just depending on what you brought out in me.
Yep.
I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to shade you. Well, I might. But I know my heart, and I know what I have to give. So either you're going to bring the best or the worst, and what you saw is what you saw, and that was your choice.
Yeah, what you said is true. I think in my relationship, I'm in a relationship with a person who really likes me, and that's huge because, first of all, I don't really allow people to know me. I'm very, like, nobody really gets in my world. Like, I'm very, like, to myself. Even though I'm, like, outgoing and I'm an extrovert, when it comes to, like, really getting to know me, there's nobody there. So my man is the only one there, and he knows and loves the true me that people don't even know. I'm weird as I don't know what. Like, I can't even begin to explain my weirdness, but he knows that.
Does it have anything to do with your boobs, though?
What? Actually, my boobs have grown since we've gotten together.
But
they weren't this size when we got together.
But truth be told, to piggyback off what she said, I had the same issues. So I understand exactly where you're coming from when you speak like that, because I was in an abusive marriage. And
You're so young. You're 30?
yeah, I got
You been
married
married?
super young.
How old were you?
20.
20.
Yeah, we got married right out the gate. So
Wow.
I understand that. And then, my next relationship after that, it was more so if he never felt he was good enough for me. So I had and we used to get into all kinds of arguments. And so I remember, going through that where it gives you a point to the fact, and I don't know how it is for you, but I didn't really find myself attractive until a couple years ago.
Man.
Where I looked in the mirror and was like, damn.
Like 12
I've been
months ago.
holding this
12 months ago.
Yeah, like
Like,
literally
legit.
like a year and a half ago, I literally looked in the mirror and was like, whoa.
I know that you don't know that you're attractive, because we have had this conversation 50 times where I'm like, and you're like, no, I don't think so.
Because I can't see my reflection.
You
I don't know
right.
what I look like. I don't really care what I look like. I don't know what you see in me. The fact that people project their own insecurities on me pisses me off.
When you say
Right.
people project their insecurities, give me an example.
When people tell me that I am what I am because I look a certain way.
Wait, people say that to you?
Someone was like, "Oh, you're a goody two shoes," or you act as if you're better than, and I'm like,
Or you look bougie, or you might be a bitch because you look like you better than somebody. You
And
like,
I'm like,
but I
off
never
of a-
even acted like that. You're
Always.
assuming that.
off
You
of a
Always.
profile picture.
Wait, somebody,
Always.
wait. Let me clarify. Somebody look at your profile picture and go, you look like you think you're better than
like
me.
you're a
Oh,
bougie
yeah.
bitch. They'll look at you and be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, so you a bougie bitch, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but you don't even know me. And
Yep.
then like I'll have people that I've hung out with, and they're like, yo, I didn't even expect you to act like this. Like, you cool as hell.
Girl.
And you'll be like,
Oh, you
for
can
real?
cook. Oh, you can cook. I didn't know
Oh
your
my
type could cook.
God.
What is your type? I'm like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
What is my
you
type?
don't act how you look. That's
You don't act like you look. You don't cook
act
like
how
you
you
look.
look.
You don't lay down in bed like you look. You look like you lazy. You look like you don't do nothing. You don't look like you
You look like
clean.
a pillow princess.
You don't want to mess
Ain't
your
nobody-
hair
ain't
up.
no pillow. Ain't no pillow.
Bye.
But okay, that's good. We getting somewhere. We got a caller, but I want to dig a little deeper on that. Okay, hey caller, welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Hey Shay, what's going on with you?
Hey, who's that? Hello?
Jeffrey? Can you hear me?
It's Jeffrey?
Hello? Yeah,
Oh, hey Jeffrey, how you doing?
I'm well. Listen, I got a question for the ladies.
All right, this is Jeffrey Miller, y'all. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Okay, my question is this. I heard two of the ladies talking about not seeing the beauty that they have, the beauty that we see as men looking at these women at the panel. My question is, if you don't see your beauty, he's supposed to convince you that you're beautiful to us.
I can give you.
What's the question?
He said, if you don't see your beauty, how is he supposed to convince you that you're beautiful to him?
I got an answer for you. Go ahead.
One, for me, I mean, honestly, it isn't more so of what a lot of men don't tend to realize is they feel like they have to say it. That they feel like they need to tell you all the time, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Honestly, the more you tell me, the more I don't want to hear it. Exactly. The more I don't want to talk to you. Exactly. I need somebody, show me I'm a beautiful person. Yes. But see, the thing is, I've been on dates when guys are like, you're beautiful, and I'm like, but get to know me. My heart is better. So my whole thing is, don't tell me I'm beautiful.
And don't dwell there.
Yes,
go beyond the
because
beauty.
I'm more than my face.
Your face, yes.
So show me who I am. If you see that beauty in me, show me that you see that beauty. Show me the person that you see. Show me the person you want to be around. Show me that you want me around. Show me the things that you see in me that interest you. And
don't
those
get
are the
caught up in just she's beautiful.
Like I went on a date and the guy was like, "You're beautiful." He kept saying it the whole
over
time,
and over.
I was like,
DJ Khaled.
It's like why? I said, is that what you see? He's like, yeah, you're beautiful. He said, but you don't know anything about me. You haven't asked me about me, but you told me I'm beautiful a gazillion times. And I have one person, and he's in my back pocket. I mean, leave it like that. But I mean, I told him when he first met me, I said, he was like, you're beautiful. I said, be my friend. Be my friend, get to know me, be my friend. And he really has taken the last year to be my friend.
That's beautiful.
And so the thing about it is that's what a lot of people forget.
They fail to do that.
Tell me something a million times all you want. I really don't care.
All right.
That's so real.
So, Marsha, how can somebody tell you you're beautiful if you don't see it yourself?
Don't tell me.
Right.
And honestly, her answer is my answer. And I'm going to give it like some background. Growing up, my mother never said I was beautiful. She never said I was pretty. You know how there's parents out here like, she's so cute, she's so beautiful, like egging somebody up, and their whole life they think.
But weren't other people telling you as a little girl like, oh, she's so pretty, look at that pretty girl?
I'm not even gonna lie. I can't recall. I can remember my household. I can't remember outsiders. In my household, that's just not what it was. My mom, she felt a certain way because of her complexion. She felt a certain way because of how she was brought up. So she made sure I was raised with the opposite, not knowing that it would affect me in a certain way too. It just is what it is. I think everybody deals with it. Like
everybody has some baggage.
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned in the comments about the complexion issue, and that's a whole nother post or a whole nother show on itself, because there's things I can and can't relate to. At the end of the day, I'm not light skinned, I'm not dark skinned. I really can't relate to none of it, and it doesn't mean I can't empathize.
It's in the middle. So.
Yeah, I can't empathize. I can empathize with it, but I can't relate. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, my mom never told me those things. She never. I didn't come from a touchy-feely family. They weren't hugging, kissing, none of that stuff. So when I hear a man say that, that's cool, but I don't need that because I never needed it.
Okay.
No one ever gave that to me, and the confidence I had never came from that.
So, Divine, did it take you a long time to realize that you're beautiful, or have you always known? Or
the glow up is real, for real. I mean, I grew up, I was at, skinny, long. I was 5'7" in the 6th grade, so, braces, Coke bottle glasses, tall, skinny, nerd, really, really bad, crooked teeth, got made fun of. I was an introvert, really shy nerd, really smart. So I got picked on, made fun of a lot. So that definitely did a lot for my self-esteem, growing up. At what point, did I realize I was attractive? I don't know. I mean, even still, when, someone will tell me, oh, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, me? Really?
Right. Really?
Yeah. I mean, I do. And I mean, I don't think I'm ugly, but I'm not I'm just not into myself.
You're not looking
like,
at
I
yourself
don't look
like mirror, mirror on the wall.
Now there might be some times where I'll, fix myself up and I'm like, damn, I did that, and take a selfie. You know what I mean? But I just think overall, I just don't see like, I was shocked to actually see people recommend me for for being attractive.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm like, what? Like, seriously?
Really?
Dead ass, like, really. So, I mean, it was shocking to me. So, if guys, y'all could tell me I'm beautiful all day long. I don't get numb to it at all. I love it. I'm really flattered by it, and I don't get caught up in that. Well,
I think what you have just illustrated is a lot of people would assume that you already know that you're beautiful, and what you have just illustrated is the humility behind it, that you really don't know, that you're really just discovering this.
Yeah.
And so those really are people's insecurities that they're projecting on you. She thinks she all that when you really don't.
Yeah,
Right.
it's shocking to me, and it's crazy because when I meet people for the first time, it's already like, oh, I already know she's gonna be stuck up. And then every single time I hear,
like,
man, I had no idea.
Realize
You're
you
so
was that
crazy.
cool.
You're so silly. I would have never thought.
But they prejudged you.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's sad.
All right, we got a caller, and I'm gonna come back to that. Hey, caller, welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Hi, ladies. This is Damien.
This is
My
Daniel.
my name on Facebook is D.S. Thomas. So Damien.
Damien. Hey, Damien.
I have two quick questions for you all. Hi, ladies. Number one, have any of you ever been in a situation where you all didn't actually meet the minimum requirements you were trying to approach? That's number one. And then number two,
I
have you ever been in a relationship? Okay, I just, one more. Have you guys ever been in a relationship where you felt like you met the minimum requirements of the person you were dating, everything was okay, but aggressively elaborated on those requirements? In other words, some criteria in the beginning, but throughout the duration of the relationship, they wanted to see some change or some growth. How did you all deal with that? And that's all I'm gonna. That's all my questions.
When you say they want to see some growth, can you explain what that means? Anastasia has a question. What does that mean when you say he wants to see some growth?
Okay, like for example, let's say you have a master's degree. You date is extremely focused on higher education or the growth of education. And he may aspire to do more, and then he says to you, hey, you should try to go for your doctorate. And what if that's not something you would be interested in, and this individual were to say, okay, well, you know what, this may be a deal breaker, then I feel like there may be stagnation because you're not moving along forward with me. That's what I mean by progressive elaboration. Minimum requirements, and then or change of those requirements.
Okay.
And that's all it is.
First and foremost, I'm not chewing gum. It's Mentos. Here you go. Before y'all try to roast.
somebody
Yeah, they was like, oh, she's not
Lucky
sexy
said
chewing
that
gum.
she's chewing
But I was
gum.
like, I'm not chewing gum. I'm eating this Mentos because I'm
I'm
talking.
not trying to be sexy for y'all.
And I'm not trying to be sexy because between this water and this Mentos and while you talking, your mouth get dry. So let's be clear. Why you trying to come at somebody like you wasn't on this show last week? Hey, I still love you. But as for minimum requirements, that's never been a consideration. I've never even thought about that at all. Like, I don't care about where I match up with someone. Where I have failed is comparing myself to my dude's exes. Or comparing my dude to someone or his type. So I remember my ex, he liked chocolate women who were thick. Actually, I tend to date men who like chocolate thick women. I'm not chocolate and I'm not thick. So at the end of the day, I've been insecure in relationships off of that alone because they'll like somebody's pictures on Facebook and Instagram, comment, flirt, and then I'm looking at them like, that's who you actually like.
So why are you,
It's not
why are
me.
you with me?
Yeah, so it's not about a minimum requirement on education and all that crap. It's at the end of the day, men are visual. And you are attracted to what you're attracted to. And if I don't fit the mold of what you typically go for, you're going to continuously look at what you really, really want. And it's not going to be me. So that's where I've fallen. Hands down, continuously.
To answer your first question, though, I have approached the man. Go ahead.
question, but
Let her answer your question that you
me,
asked.
me being a man, I'll agree 100% with that. Yes, a visual, but I just have to be honest. I've been all over the world, man, and there's a lot of beautiful women.
There's a lot of
There's at
beautiful
least
men,
half
so
of them are female,
they
or
fine
more than half.
out here.
A lot of pretty women.
They find us.
There has to be more, and maybe that coincides with the earlier caller who was saying substance.
Yeah,
So
but
I
that's
agree
not
with
the
you,
point of the
sister. I
show.
100% agree with you.
Okay, thank you for calling.
There's
That's
a lot
not
of
the point of the show is really just trying to get insight on these women and how they date. The point of the show is that they are very attractive. So, like, if somebody were to say, "Well, where is the substance?" That's just not the topic of the show. I mean, they can talk about the substance, but the topic of the show is how very attractive women date, and that's what they're answering. Those are the questions I'm asking. I'm not asking about substance because that's a different topic. But so I don't want people to beat them up. I'm not asking them those questions because that's not the topic of the show. All right, back to you, Anastasia. You were going to answer your question.
Well, his first question is, have we ever approached a man who we weren't we didn't meet his standards or his qualifications? And I have approached someone.
Really?
He was 6'6", light skinned. I mean, I normally don't date light skinned men, but I
light
looked
skinned
at him.
people don't usually date light skinned people.
Ever.
What is that?
But I looked at him.
Ever.
Well, my dad is chocolate, so maybe that's where it comes from.
Typically, yep.
So I remember I was like, I climbed in his inbox, and because I had seen him before, we met before, and then I climbed in his inbox, and he was like, "You're not my type," and I was like, "Oh."
He
Like,
straight up said it.
I mean, he
They will
flat
say
out
it.
was like, "You're not my type," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he got engaged like a year later, and I seen him, and she's like 5'4", dark skin. I was like, "Okay, well, I'm not your type. I'm not even mad at you." But I think where you're coming from when it comes to an old lady told me this one day. Because I remember I was having relationships issues with someone, and she said to me, stop liking who you like and like who likes you. She said, you'll learn to be a lot happier. And I was like,
That's another topic.
She said if your type worked for you, you would have one.
But that's the thing. People get so stuck on their type, and sometimes that's not working for them. So I agree, but that's a whole nother topic, and I can go down a whole another path with that. But we're gonna put a pin there. What y'all said earlier that I want to go. Dang it! Every time I get ready to ask y'all a question, we get another caller. Hey, caller, welcome to Conversations with Cupid. Hello, hey, caller.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, this is Mike Front. So I actually have one question because of, what y'all been talking about. So I know everyone's saying that they don't know they're attractive, but I think the real question is that you don't know you're attractive or that y'all don't think y'all are as attractive as people think you are. Because I find it hard to believe y'all at some level recognize you're attractive. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's the distinction. There's a difference between saying, I'm I guarantee nobody on that panel thinks they're ugly. I think the difference is they don't necessarily see themselves in the same way.
Wait a minute, hold on. Before you say that, we didn't say that we did not think we were attractive people. The thing is, we just came into that being a few years ago that we really realized we were as beautiful as people said we were. However, I still look at some women and I'm like, damn, she's. I've been in the car with some of my friends and be like, yo, look at her. Like, you have to be humble enough to really. Honestly, I've met women who are just like drop dead gorgeous. When I look at them, I'm like, damn. But then like you get to know them and you're like, she's conceited.
Or she has a bad attitude.
Or she's got a bad attitude. And all that takes that beauty from a 10 to a 2.
Yeah.
So I still, I mean,
no,
yes.
100% agree with that.
So you don't think you're unattractive?
No, I don't think I'm unattractive.
Do you think you're unattractive?
No, but what was the question?
I don't know, but I just want to ask this. Do you think you're unattractive?
I've never thought I was unattractive.
Do you think you're unattractive?
I mean, after a long night, sometimes waking up, I might be like, I ain't even gonna lie.
Somebody gonna like this ugly.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna like this ugly.
But you know what? I'm beautiful on the inside, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
I'm beautifuler on the inside.
That they're unattractive. They were just saying that people tell them they're attractive all the time, but they're just now coming in.
We're humble. We're humble people.
Man, humble. Let's talk about social media delusions. I think people hype people more than what they are. I think people were not called cute. Huh?
Okay, thank you for calling.
No, I think people were not called cute until social media. I don't think people were called attractive until they got likes.
You think there are some people who were not attractive until they created a Facebook profile?
Hell no, because people take good pictures, and so shout out to you, but then you meet them in person and they don't look like their picture, and I don't care if I don't look like my picture.
You look like your picture.
Well, shout out.
Because if I didn't think you like your picture, you wouldn't be on this show.
But what I'm saying saying is everybody's ugly to somebody, in my opinion.
Yes.
People may not
I tell
agree.
people that all the time.
But
Somebody's
everybody
ugly
is
to somebody
ugly to
else.
somebody. Somebody does
Yes.
not think I'm fine, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you like me, you rock with me, and I rock with you. If you don't like me and you don't rock with me, I don't rock with you. And you fall in one of two lanes. There's nothing else to discuss.
Exactly.
And I don't care if you find me cute or not. That's not what life is about.
I
Do
don't
you
understand
rock
what
with
he
me?
was saying. I think he was like, if you don't think you're attractive, you're not as attractive as you think, or something like that. I don't know.
No,
what he was,
if you think you're more attractive than what you are, you're not as attractive as you think because you look low-key delusional. And that's why I say social media creates that
Social
delusion.
media has
it
created
makes
a lot
people,
for a lot of people.
It strokes people's ego. The amount of likes makes people feel bigger than they are, and it's kind of like, you know, how do I say this the best way possible? Without social media, I would not have run across the people I would have ran across. I would not have been in the same room with these people. Mm-hmm. We just do not see eye to eye. We do not mesh. We do not rock with the same things. And it just is what it is. Anybody that disagrees with me, cool. Let's just disagree and live. But we wouldn't even be in conversation if we weren't in the same Facebook groups.
no, it's true.
You know
but
what I'm saying?
But I was gonna say that in reference to finding people attractive. I know people who are Facebook famous. Like, they are every day posting selfies, every day posting workout pictures, every day posting pictures of themselves, and they have lots of followers just because of how they look. There are people that exist like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think back to Marsha's point, they're Facebook famous. They're just cute on Facebook.
And can we have
with
another
the
topic?
filters and angles.
Yeah, this is off of this topic. You can go back to what you're saying, but the whole she angry stuff gotta stop because women are not angry because they're expressing themselves. They just have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic where men feel like the moment that a woman says how she feels, that she's angry, she's upset, she's in her feelings, and that's something that has something to do with the man and not the woman. But that is another topic for another day that you can you can address because
I work in construction,
because
so
at
ain't
the end
no
of
women.
the day,
I know.
at the end of the day, you cannot read anything from my 140 characters and from my voice, and you don't even know me, and my voice is deep, and I am from the north, and I am hood. I am definitely not angry. If you want to see angry, you can come see me.
Okay.
But that's not
But
angry.
let's get back on track. So, what y'all said before, I don't even know what you're talking about. Let me get back on track. What y'all said
The
before.
comments.
Right.
No, the
Yes.
comments.
Don't read it. Don't read it.
Come see her.
I know.
Come see her.
Don't read the comments, though. Just stay.
Nah, because people just reckless.
Try me, boo boo.
That's
Right.
the delusion
Don't
of
let
social
the
media.
pretty
Try
fool
me.
you.
That's the delusion of social media because
Don't
you won't
let
pull
the
up
pretty
though.
fool you.
That's
But
the
I-
thing. But
but
whatever.
to
Wait, I
answer-
want to go back to this. This is what I was saying.
I'm
before we
I'm about to comment on that
On what?
because that whole I have a Facebook friend who is Facebook famous. Got his Instagram is 100,000 plus. His Facebook 100,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? He's on it. And I remember when we had chit chatted, and when we ended up meeting in person, I was like, "Oh, you're lame. You're not that cute." Like it just.
Everybody thinks he
Facebook,
is.
but everybody puts him out there like he's this greatest person. And living in Atlanta, you know, you run into all kinds of people. And I've been on dates with men who have umpteens amount of money. And if you didn't have, whether you have money or you don't have money, if you a lame, you a lame. If you ain't shit nigga, excuse my language, if you ain't shit nigga, you gonna be ain't shit nigga. It don't matter if you have money, if you have money, you don't, whether you're Facebook famous, you are who you are. But
Yes.
Facebook props people up so much. Social media pushes people. All these ugly chicks, half of them didn't even, no offense to nobody, I mean, you're all beautiful in God's eyes, but all I'm saying is a lot of y'all didn't get these big heads until y'all started getting that like button.
Or till they grew a beard. They got conceited when they grew a beard.
Oh, that's
You know that's the hat for
What
the
was
face.
it? What's it? No
That's the
shave,
hat.
no shave November. It needs to be shaved that shit off December.
I want
'Cause
to see
need
what
to
all
see
of them
that
look
gone.
like.
Right.
I need to see that
face.
hat for the face. That's the makeup and
Yeah,
the
I
hat
need
for
to
the
see that
face.
face.
But
All
it
right,
is.
Hold on. This is what I want to ask. Y'all were just talking about how you just discovered, or you glowed up, or you just became this person, or just been aware of who you are or how attractive you are. This was a new awareness. So I want to talk about that because a lot of times people think that you're stuck up, you know you're cute, you think you're all that. People have these thoughts, and that's not true, obviously, based off what y'all were saying. I want to go back. I want to dig back there. So what kind of misconceptions do people have of you?
You can't cook. You can't clean.
They make an assumption.
You lazy. You just basically too cute to do anything, and you just too stuck up to think about things, or you're self-centered and you don't care about another person. Even if you go on a deeper level, like I think I asked some dude, like, you know, how was his day or whatever, and he was like, I can't even believe you even considered me. And I'm like, why? Like, why would I not consider you? Like,
you know, and another the biggest thing is gold digger. Like, if you're pretty, if you date like an athlete or someone prominent, you're automatically a gold digger. Then if you're kind of unattractive, they're going to be like, well, what does he see in her? So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But regardless of how you look, you're going to get judged if you're pretty.
But even when you're pretty and you're dating someone, there is always someone who's like, why her? Why her? And I'm like, why not? But, I mean, definitely it's always why her.
But that's the crazy thing. You're picking people for this show. And you pick her. And I'm like, she fine. You pick her. I'm like, she fine. Like, what is it inside of you that says she ain't that cute? Like, what is it inside of you that makes you just do that?
Something bitterness. It's got to be something. That's why I said, if anybody's looking at these ladies and they're saying, oh, I don't understand why she was chosen because she's ugly, you really need to do some self-evaluation. I'm just being honest. There's no way you can feel like that. But I wanted to ask you something. You said that people make these assumptions about you. I wanted to ask you, because we've had the conversation where you said people don't assume that you're smart, right? Because you're pretty, and that's a big assumption. People just make this assumption that anything you get is because you're cute, because you have any brains. Oh, yeah. You get that assumption a lot.
I really don't even know what to say about that, because
speak on it.
Because I don't even, like, it's kind of like that thing, like, oh, you must have pledged AKA, and I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't pledge, so let's be clear. Second of all, what makes you assume that? That has nothing to do with me. I didn't pledge at all, but for some reason you have a stigma behind something that makes you project that onto me. That has nothing
because you
to
were a
do.
dancer in school. Because I mean,
well, yeah, I danced for the Hawks. So I danced for the Hawks when I was 21.
But you danced for CAU too.
I danced for CAU, but I was captain of the team, and then I ended up making the Atlanta Hawks team. Okay. So I went back and I was coaching the CAU team while I was on the Hawks. But at that time, it was like, you know, I'm surprised you're not somebody's trophy wife yet. I'm surprised you're not out here.
But you could be, and I've told you that. If that's what you wanted, you could be.
You know, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I haven't dated an athlete. You know, that is what it was. You know, but at the end of the day, I think somebody asked that question in your group, like, you know, what was it like dating an athlete or a celebrity? I'm like, the same thing as every day. What is it like dating an attractive person? The same shit. I'm sorry, it's the same thing. Why would we have all these memes? Why would we have all these discussions about relationship if we weren't all dealing with the same thing? We all have the same wants, same dreams, same values, same goals. Everybody wants loyalty, stability, security, somebody that can trust, somebody that has their back. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with looks. So you sitting up here asking me what is the difference? The difference is money, I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, they still come with the same.
They come with
the
same baggage.
Yeah, it's the same package. It's the same package. So it's not about what you look like. It's not about how you feel, what you think, where you from. We all want the same thing, and it's whether you find it or not.
Do people assume that you're not smart, Devon?
All the time. I got accused at work. I'm in sales in my corporate day job, and I'm in management. So I manage like 30 people. And I would hear and I'm top in my company.
Wow.
So I would hear all the time that, you know, oh, you wouldn't be there if you didn't look how you look.
Anybody would sleep with to get here.
Exactly. Anybody would buy. Who wouldn't buy from you? You know what I mean? So I've heard that my whole career. Exactly.
How does it make you feel when they make that assumption?
I mean, you know, I just laugh to the bank, like. You know, I mean, but it's like, I mean, it's hurtful because. You know, I am very smart. I am talented when it comes to sales and when it comes to business and, you know, handling my business. So I really don't let it bother me at all.
Do people assume that you're not smart, Anastasia?
My field doesn't really come with too many smarts. So, I don't say that in a disrespectful manner. Now, what I do, like, as far as the sales portion of it, you do have to have some smarts. But yeah, there comes to people when we get to talking about degrees and things like that, they'll be like, wow, like why those choices? Because I have 3 degrees.
Oh,
so
you do?
Yes, I do. I know, no bragging points. I did it for my mama. So But I mean, yeah, there do comes a point where people are like, oh, beauty and brains. Well, it's like, I mean, I am a lot more than just a face.
I've heard people say that pretty people don't have to work as hard. Pretty girls don't have to work as hard in corporate, in school. Because
I'm not gonna lie.
Because
It's true.
It's true.
It's true as
It
hell.
is true.
I ain't gonna lie. It's true as hell. You can't lie about that.
Yeah,
you can't lie about that.
That is true.
You gonna get that pass. You gonna get that. You cute, so I'm gonna let you. That's
so give me some examples of where
That
you've
is
gotten
true.
a pass because of your.
All of college. I remember all of college. Like shout out to CU, find a way to make one. I made one. I made sure I gave my professors NBA tickets, and I made.
Because you work for the Hawks.
I danced for the Hawks, so I made sure they said all you got to do is come up and sign the role, and I came up and I signed and I left. And
So you didn't study for the test. You didn't nothing.
Absolutely not.
So
I
you
got my
literally-
degree, so y'all can't come
You
at me.
literally graduated because you were cute and you had tickets to the Hawks.
I can't attest to that.
I'm not finna even sit up here in front. Like it just is what it is. Like it was like you cute enough to get this far, and I learned in college. Actually, I learned at that point. This is how you got to work with what you got.
So you do use it sometimes.
I did in college. Absolutely.
Do you use it now?
I'm about to start tapping back into that. I ain't finna front before I lose it, cause you get
You
older.
you only have a finite amount of time.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Before it fall all the way off.
Start going downhill, girl. You better use it while you can, honey.
I ain't gonna lie.
Don't waste it.
I don't know. I
Don't
looked at my
waste
aunties
it.
and was like, I'm gonna do pretty good.
You
Looked
might
at my
have
mom
some
and
good
was like,
genes. All right, so
"Right."
Divine, have you gotten a pretty pass?
Yeah, and I realized it, at a place that I worked, and they kind of had two levels, like they upstairs and then they had downstairs, and then they called upstairs the Oval Office, where the executives and managers and everything were. So when I started, I went up there and everyone looked like models. So I'm looking around like, what's going on here? Why is everyone so pretty? So I just asked around and I was told, oh, they only hire like really pretty people. So I was like, oh, and then they were like,
sales jobs.
And then they were like, oh, you should have seen some of the girls that interviewed. We were watching the girls come in as they interviewed. So that's when I was just like, whoa. And then I do know, most of the time, though, if you have the gift of gab, you can get by without having, looks. I'm fortunate to have both. So that's a good thing in my favor. But I see someone throwing shade. But yeah,
don't even read their comments.
There has been a lot of shade in here.
Shady boots.
Okay, let me ask you this: are these men or women throwing shade?
Men.
Men throwing shade.
Because I have
Why
no
are you surprised?
filter.
They gossip more than
I'll
women.
go on somebody's
Yes.
profile
Men
right
talk
here
Men talk
online.
More
way
than
more than
women.
women. I've
It is-
discovered that in 2017.
And look, I will go in their profile and I'll post a picture, and I'll have everybody come for them.
Man, what? That's what I'm saying. Like these men out here acting like you ain't got screenshots. You can have screenshots of me all day, but I'm gonna claim my stuff, but claim yours as well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try me.
Have you gotten a pretty pass, Anastasia?
Okay. I'm a little indifferent when it comes to this. I'm drinking Crown. I did not get a pretty pass until in the most recent years.
Okay.
I didn't go to college young. I went to
Okay.
college older.
Okay.
So I had to work for mine.
Okay.
And my teachers, especially, I had a teacher who was hard on me when I first got to college because she was like, "Oh, you think you're cute." So she would give me hell. But when I graduated, she was like, I respect you. She was like, you worked your ass off, and she was like, you fall asleep in my class. But then she said, but she was like, they ain't think you was gonna do, but I knew you would. So, and when it came to college, no, I didn't get that pass. Now, being in construction sales and stuff like that, when I get to go out with some of the other sales reps and we're out and you walk onto a job site, it's a woman. So it's a different degree because now
you're working with all men, so you get it all the time.
Right, or when they come into the office, they're like, oh, I get to see a pretty face. I don't have to look at another man. So that does help. That does help me now. And I trust and believe me when it comes to it, and I've seen what my sales reps can do. Oh, I'm finna use these looks to my powers.
Yeah, and that's what I want to ask you because I see nothing wrong. You got to use what you got to get what you want, whatever that is.
Okay, don't hit me with none of Ronnie Ho quotes.
just
No, real talk. If I was 21,
if I could live this
again,
over,
I would have been on my
kill it.
Amber Rose. I would have been on my Drea. I would have been
back
on
in the day.
like if I would have use my youth the way
I'm
I should
surprised
have.
you didn't. Like
Because
honestly,
I
you had
didn't.
the setup to do that.
I had the
The fact
setup.
is, you were captain of the dance squad, then you danced for the Hawks at 21. You could have really parlayed right into all
Because
of that.
I came up when
Reality
I came
shows
up
and-
when they were coming up.
Right.
So before Basketball Wives came out,
Yeah.
which was one of the first for the black people, you know, we heard about Basketball Wives. We were on the Hawks, and I'm like, oh, this is really happening. And that's when we discovered every man that everybody was messing with had wives. That was the first time that was like a reality.
Wow.
You know, we was hanging out with these Negroes the week before, and they completely lied about their whole existence. You know, of course.
Their
And then,
wives'
yeah,
existence.
you know, my homegirl dating an NBA player, got whole tattoos of his kids on his neck, and we like, you know, who is that? He's like, oh, I just had twins. Okay, so where's the mother of your child? I'm single. You know, and then the next week, Basketball Wives premieres, and we're like, oh, you lied. You got like a whole wife, you know. So at that time, it was kind of like that weird dichotomy of, do I sell myself down the river, or
I don't
do
think you have that. You don't have.
But
no,
but that
I
at that
don't know
time,
you personally like that, but I don't feel that you have. And I know people who've been on the show. I know people. I've hung when I first came to Atlanta. I ran the streets. I was all up in everybody, hanging out with this person, hanging out with that person, going here, going there. I don't do that no more. I don't care. I could care less what you have. It doesn't matter to me. But you don't have that. You would have a lot of issues. Just because you're a very honest person, you're a very strong person.
Yeah.
So you walking into that situation, unlike me, your mouth, you're gonna
I'm
tell
a
them
fight.
the truth.
Yeah, and that's
so
the thing.
I
But
did
some of
that.
those ladies do too.
Well, you know, Tammy,
All
I think
of
I
them
be
aren't.
to like the 10th
But I would have
degree.
been Tammy too. But
To
my
the
thing
10th
was
degree.
was
Like, dead serious.
because Tammy came up in the '90s before all that stuff. So when I was coming up, it was before, like I said, reality. It was right before reality TV hit. So when that happened, it wasn't that I couldn't have been, because all you really had to do was just play your part. All you had to do was just shut up, have the babies, get your check, and keep it moving. That's
See, I ain't
really
that
all you
person.
had to do. But I just didn't have that in me because of how I was raised with the like extra churchy Christian background, where I felt like I had to be this upstanding person.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
I wanna
but
make
that's
a
why
point.
I said if I look back on it,
You could have done it different. Yeah.
I want to make a point on your original question, and there's a flip side to being attractive in the workplace,
Give
and
me
that
one
is
second,
okay.
because we got a call, but I want to pick that up. Hey, caller, welcome to Conversations with Cupid. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, welcome
Yeah,
to
what's
Conversations
going on?
with
This is
Cupid.
Nato.
Hey, Nato. You have a comment or question?
What's up? Yeah, I got a question. So, being that your ladies are very attractive and beautiful, my question was, do y'all find it very difficult dating men of your race?
Dating black men?
do you find it difficult?
Dating, I date both. I'm half black, half white. My mom is white, so I actually date white men and black men, and I don't know. Dating, it's kind of even because they're both asses, no matter who they are. You don't really. Honestly, people were like, "Oh, white guys," and this. They're all asses, white, black, whatever. The same shit black dudes do, white dudes do it too. Ain't no different. The only difference is the color of their skin. Literally.
I've had some great white guy experiences.
Oh, I've had
Me too.
Yes, I've
Well,
had
Me
some
too.
really good-
Different. It's different.
It's very
It
different.
is very
It's like
different.
Not
night
to
and
say I
day.
haven't had any great
But-
black men
yeah.
experiences.
But they
I'm
do, as far as the things that they do, as far as like the dumb
It's
shit they do,
different, yeah.
they do it on a different level, but
Yeah.
they still do the same shit.
Okay.
It's still the same shit.
Okay. So have you had a problem dating black men? That's NATO's question.
Who?
NATO's asking, have you had a problem?
Hey, Natos, I've never dated outside of black. I have no opinion.
Okay. Have
Oh.
you dated outside?
I've dated outside of my race. It was completely different. You know, I actually felt that, you know, the white guys were a little bit more respectful, you know, than the, you know, black guys. It's just totally different. But I prefer, it doesn't matter.
I think me and my friend asked me that the other day, and I told her, I said, one thing that I can say that white guys have over black guys is the things that, actually, you know what? Some of the things that Lucky was talking about last week, the things that he does, some black men consider that spoiling, and white men will do it without question.
Ooh, can we talk
Now,
about
that-
that?
They
yeah,
will
that's
do
a
it
whole-
without
yeah, that's a
question.
whole- yes, yeah.
Because white men consider having a house, paying his bills
Basic.
as basic,
Yeah.
but black men consider it as
Oh, no, they
exceptional.
want half.
You need to kiss the ground I walk on
Oh,
because
no,
I got
they-
it.
you gotta
told me
pay
that.
half.
You gotta pay half. I
Half.
was like, wait a minute. But
There's no such thing
when
as
I
a
was talking to a
provider.
white man, there was nothing that came
let's
from
give
me.
let's give some perspective though. a lot of these brothers are starting from scratch, where a lot of these white men are not.
Well,
So
you're right.
I give that.
You're right.
I give the
I'm not
dynamics the
yeah,
difference,
it's
which
very
is why
different.
you give it a consideration.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier today, I said we're supposed to do better than our parents. We're supposed to be more financially literate than our parents. We're supposed to bring that knowledge to our kids better than our parents. So I'm not about to sit up here and down myself to a place of what my mother did, because what she did has nothing to do with me. This is 2017. That was 1970 something. The dynamics have shifted. Too much has changed. There's too many layers that are attached to that for you to put me in that box.
Right.
From 30, 40 years ago, you can kick all the rocks, because that's just not where we are.
Yeah, it's different. Like I went to grad school with a guy. He's probably listening. White guy. He got married right out of college, moved into his parents' home, and he and the girl moved into the basement. And his parents gave them $30,000 to go put down on their house. I don't know how many of us that parents are doing that, but that's a different scenario. When your mama and daddy giving you $30,000 to put down on your house, you're going into this house debt free. That's a different scenario.
No, and that's
I can't.
real.
My mother did that when I got married. My mother put the down payment on my mortgage.
See,
so
and
I can't even front that.
Okay,
she did
so
that.
I'm gonna-
very different.
Yeah, it is.
It's different.
And
And
I
my brothers, they're not. Some of them, some of their mamas don't own homes.
That's
This
what
is
I was
their
gonna
first-
say. This is a different perspective.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in Chicago. I went to school in the suburbs in high school, so I got to see the dynamics of growing up in poverty versus coming to
very
an affluent
different. Yes.
area. And what I discovered was that most of the black people in that area were people who either one hit the lotto.
Really? Like literally
Hit the lotto. One hit the lotto, or two had great successful businesses. Like one of my homeboys was Ebony Magazine's creator, his grandfather.
Johnson.
So like John Johnson, and then you got Walt Disney's grandson. So
Okay.
I'm going to school with these people whose kids
That's generational.
or it's generational wealth at
Yeah.
this point. So you got black people who have generational wealth or for the first time, and then I grew up in the city, so
You saw both.
so I saw both. So I'm not about to sit up here and fault black men. I've only dated black at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit up here and say, you know, what you should have or what you shouldn't have,
You
because
can't
you
really
don't
compare.
you don't have the knowledge. I'm looking at my homegirl whose family owned Dairy Queen, and her family left her the house, left her the business, and they moved somewhere else
It's
out of
very
state.
different.
And
Yeah.
so she has a crib that's paid for, and she has a whole business that she runs off GP just because she's family.
Yeah.
That's just not what we. That's not where we come from.
And and that's why I think it's dangerous to compare black and white, because sometimes the
being
difference.
mixed, I do want to answer that real
But
quick
we have
before
a
we take the
caller.
caller.
Hold on, we have a caller. Just hold on 1 second. All right, caller, welcome to oh Jesus, y'all keep calling. Welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Hey Shay, what's happening? This is Cordell.
Hey, Cordell.
Cordell Carter. Listen, hey, how you doing? I want to say hello to all three of the beautiful ladies. A special hello to Divine. I see you right there in the corner, looking beautiful. Listen, let me tell you something. Out of all four ladies on the panel, there is nothing on this planet Earth as a black man that I would not do to please my black queen.
Thank you.
Let's get that
Hey,
straight right
boo.
there. It is nothing exceedingly abundantly above anything that the Lord blesses me with that I'm not going to do it to take care of my lady. White man can do that. I'm not going to do 10 times better.
All right
Okay,
now.
well, thank you for sharing. Thank you, Cordell.
Inbox me, Cordell.
Well, Cordell, to tell
listen,
you.
Hey,
go ahead.
Listen, I pulled up your. I said divine blessings. I said, Lord, what you trying to say to me? You know, because I've been praying. You know, Shay, know I've been, praying for a wife, and I've been fasting.
Well, she
So
said
I pulled up
inbox,
your
so
name.
y'all
It
can
said
take
divine.
this offline.
It said divine. It said divine blessings. I said, Lord, what you trying to say?
All right
So
now.
I sent a friend request. So
Send that credit report too, boo. Next
Well,
caller.
Divine, I already know
Thank
my
you, Cordell.
husband.
Thank you.
Will be a black man.
Oh, really?
My husband will be a black man. I met one of the most. David Banner is a very, very well-spoken black man, and he does a lot for the black community. And sitting down having a conversation with him, and he just showed me the complete beauty of a black man. I said, and my husband will be a black man.
No, I love my brothers. I really do. I think they're amazing. Not to mention they look amazing. But I just wanted to say I've had some great experiences.
Oh,
with
I have too,
men
but I love me some chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate, yes, for sure. All right, hey, welcome to Conversations with Cupid.
Hey, I got a real question this time. Check this out. I just listen to y'all talk about. I just listen to y'all talk about how
Go ahead. Lucky.
and the white man he take care of the house. He don't ask for half and all this right there. I got a question. Being a man, we will take care of the house.
Well, Lucky,
what
you
the
do what
hell
you do is on a different level. I want to say, and hats off to
Slow
you.
down. I want a question. I'm asking y'all a question. Did. So when I'm paying all this money for everything that's going on in the house, what's the job?
What is your
Question
question?
I
What
got,
are what are women doing?
So your money. Like if I'm spending all my money on the houses, I'm paying for the house, I'm paying for your condo, I'm doing all this, right? You going to work for? Like, where's your money going? Are you saving it to the side? So put in your 401k. So 20 years from now, you know what I'm saying, we can live off your 401k, or what are you doing with your money? Like,
But Lucky, I need to say something.
Black
What you do is not typical. What you're doing is not, what you described is not typical.
No, but to answer your question, Lucky.
You said you asked for it.
Right. But to answer your question, like for me, I was raised to be somebody's partner. I wasn't raised for a man to take care of me. I was not raised to raise a man. I was raised to be someone's partner. So when we decide to cross that boundary where we're doing certain things together and our money is one and we're doing things as a unit, then we need to sit down and discuss where our money goes as a unit. So I can tell you, like, if
that's one.
Go ahead.
That's one thing, though. Basically, what I heard all.
What's his question?
Black men.
He
You
wanna
like
know
to
what
use the
we're
word black
doing
men. Black men don't want to take care of.
But I think
the
what
house
he
or wanna go
does,
right?
no, what he
So,
does
hold
is
on,
so
you said our money,
different.
right?
I don't know what does he do?
So
he owns a business. So Lucky owns a business.
So
and
Lucky
he
builds houses.
He builds houses.
So what he said is his girlfriend was out in Europe one time, and when she got back, he had put a deck to her house.
You ain't got to tell that whole story. You ain't got to tell that story.
You already told it, so why don't you repeat it?
I'm just repeating
But
what
I mean, but Lucky, to answer your question, I think my problem has been, and this is where I said that I had to take a step back and learn to be somebody's friend first, because I was that chick that did everything for a man. I'd go shopping for myself, and I'd be like, ooh, my babe would like that. I'll buy it for him. I surprise him with this. I spend money there. I've taken men on dates because that's just who I am.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, though, what I'm saying in a nutshell, though, I haven't got the question. I mean, the answer.
I told you the question.
My question was, is paying for all bills in the house, right? You go to work every day. Like, I don't need you to buy me nothing like that. Like, what are you gonna do?
But I said that we would sit down as a unit and decide where my money went.
But what I'm trying to tell him is what he's describing is not happening typically.
Right.
Typically, black women
But
in
you
Atlanta.
just asked for it in the show.
No. Let me answer your question. Typically, black women in Atlanta outperform. They make more than the average black man. So you're talking about a black man typically makes $50,000 a year. And your situation is totally different. And I know you've never had a job. You've been an entrepreneur your whole life. So let me fill you in. The average black man is making $50,000 a year. These sisters in Atlanta are making six figures. So they're dating men that they make double their salary. And the men are not able to pay all of she already has her house. He's not able to pay all of those household bills. So he is, he might.
I understand that. I understand that, but what I'm basing my question off is the last thing I just heard before I called you guys was that men should take care of the house, and then you went to say white guys do it, right? So,
but that's why I said to you, as a unit, we're a partnership. If I'm gonna be with somebody, you are my partner. I don't want nobody to take care of me.
Nobody has said anything about what they're gonna do with their money.
And I just told you we will sit down as a unit and figure out what happened with that money.
We're gonna take this offline because that's not the topic today. But I hear your point, Lucky. Let's move on.
What I'm gonna do with my money is continue what I've been doing while I've been single.
All right. Yes. Okay. So
I'm going shopping and traveling.
I'm taking you on trips. If you my man, we going on trips.
I didn't support too many men.
Exactly.
To even answer that question.
But that's what I'm trying to say. You know how I tell you that you can't see everything because you're looking from your perspective. He's looking from his perspective.
From my perspective, every man I've dealt with, he's got more than enough. That doesn't even need to be explained.
So what I'm saying is
not even a conversation.
What I'm saying is from Lucky's perspective, because he is that guy that's building houses and he has a lot of money. The average man does not. So I think he's looking at it from, I'm doing all these things for women. Most men aren't doing all those things for women.
Absolutely.
So I
Well,
think
I'd like to know the women that he's doing this for. What are they doing with their money?
Doing?
I mean,
no,
he's
engaged, so he's irrelevant.
So what is she? So what is she? What is she doing with her money?
But what I know is the men that we come across on a daily single basis,
like that.
we at McDonald's in the drive-thru and they trying to split a freaking chicken.
Oh,
I have
hell
no
no.
time for this conversation because half these men can't even relate.
Half these men got
Hell
roommates.
no.
And
roommates.
No, straight up. Straight up. No. Seriously.
Roommates.
I've
grown
done-
ass
I've
men
done-
got
I've
roommates.
done-
Grown men.
Grown men.
Professional
Oh my
men. No,
gosh.
seriously. So a lot of them, and it could be from divorces or whatever, but they're just not there. I know.
Let me be clear. I don't care if you lost everything. I've lost everything twice.
Me
I don't
too.
care if you had no income. I've had no income. It's not about that. When I haven't had it, I don't date. When I haven't had it, I tell men I'm not ready to date. I'm
That's the
very,
key.
very
That's
clear
Yep.
where I'm at. When I
Yep.
do have it, you got it all. So that conversation that he's having is from his perspective. But from my perspective, these men have had above and beyond, and they can't question about me.
Most
Period.
of them can't even really afford to date, like
Or afford to ask these questions.
And then they want to take you out to Starbucks on the first date.
Well,
What
listen,
is
and
that?
They'll ask you, can we
and
go
I'm
get
Starbucks.
coffee? Can we go get
Let me
coffee?
clarify
Yeah,
something.
that's what I mean. They want to go to
I'm only
Starbucks.
sharing what from my experience, as a matchmaker. One of the things that I've had, like if you were my client and I'm setting you up on a date, Anastasia, literally I've had to go to men and say, okay, I want to introduce you to Anastasia. I want you to go on a date. And they'll say, we have to do it when I get paid, which is next Friday. And so I'm saying, well, it doesn't have to be expensive. It could just be, $25, $30.
Because you
I
never
can't do that.
required it, though.
They can't do that until they get paid. So what I'm telling you is a lot of these people aren't there yet. They just don't have it.
Then
They're
you,
not
don't,
able
then you
to.
shouldn't be dating.
Well, that's the dating pool.
See, and that's my
I
thing.
But
know.
you know what?
That's
There's
my
a lot
thing.
of women that'll pay for the dates.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
It's
a
not,
lot
it's
of
not
women
about
that'll-
you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah.
It's not
There's-
about that. Homeless people get married every day, and I say
think
that.
that
I
too.
say that all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
It's not
Because
about that.
as much as I volunteer under the bridge on 20, them people are married in them
All
doggone
the time.
trees.
In
So
the
it's
hood,
not about that.
In the hood, they get
They get
married. all
married.
the
They get
time.
married
Yes.
on the
the playground.
playground. So it's not
They get
about
married
that.
on the playground.
For me,
They do.
But I can't.
No,
I
what
can't. If
you
I'm
gotta
not in
know.
a certain place in my life,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
cannot put you in the place of my life.
It's
so if I'm
knowing
in a
your
place
goals.
where I'm pinching pennies and I'm trying to get my stuff together, I can't add someone to that equation.
But you can't. Wait, but that's not our topic today. We're gonna talk about finances on another.
because
show.
at the end of the day, it's knowing what you want to bring to the table and what you expect from someone else. It's not about what you do or don't have. It's knowing your personal goals. So if I know this is what I want covered, I expect that from someone else. So whether I'm rich, poor, broke, not broke, homeless or not, it's what I know I want. So if I have no roof over my head and I just want a man that loves me, I'm going to have this man that loves me. That's what changed my mind from volunteering. This woman, she had some type of disease where she couldn't walk anymore, and her husband, he took tree bark and made canes, and he goes on Edgewood and he sells his canes to put his daughter through school, their daughter through school. So that changed my perspective on love, period. Because it was like they didn't have nothing to their name, but the money that they made, their daughter looked clean. Like you never would have thought she was homeless, but her she couldn't even walk as a wife. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not putting that on people. I'm not putting it that you need
Yeah, I
to
don't
make.
think you need to have
Yeah,
money
I'm not
to date.
putting that on that.
I was answering his question like, in his world, he is a provider. He is taking care of the house. What I'm telling him is the average man isn't at that
do
place.
that. Yeah,
and
it's rare.
I'm not saying those men are less than. I'm not saying they should not be dating. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving him some perspective, because I think sometimes we get caught up in our little world and we think everybody's like this. Everybody's not like that. A lot of people are struggling, and I know a lot of sisters who are doing very, very well, and unfortunately there aren't as many men at that level. Unfortunately, our men.
But
are always
my
at that
best
level.
friend who's in finances, trust, and wealth management, she stated that 50% of Americans don't even have $500 in their savings or bank account alone. So all these people that's acting rich on social media, like, let's stop that shit. Everybody's struggling.
But
like, let's not be
everybody
clear.
feels like they need to live.
Everybody
a life for
feels
social
like they're
media.
doing bigger than they
And
are.
that's another problem is when we were talking about, Facebook fronting, there are a lot of people who act like they are balling out of control. And you can get depressed watching them. I have a Facebook friend. They're in Dubai this week. They're in Paris next week. I'm like, how do you do this?
They're
Where
a
do you
flight
work?
attendant, or they
I
got
know
a trust fund, or they got a sugar
Or
daddy.
they got a
That's literally
sponsor.
three options.
And the crazy part about it is, and especially being here in Atlanta, you see that a lot. And I had a friend when I first moved here. She was that girl that you would see here. She'd fly here. She's in that section. She's in this section. She's going here. She's going there. And she didn't have anywhere to lay her head. Nowhere to lay her head.
See, they don't post that.
Nope. And then she'd be out here looking for a man to take care of her. She'd be
Right.
out looking for this baller and that baller. She ended up getting a baller, but he didn't want her.
Let's bring it back to this topic. Okay, let's talk about that with the ballers. How many ballers have you dated? Because people do think that if you're pretty, you should have a baller. You can't have a baller. How many quote unquote ballers have you dated?
I've never
You've
sit down
never
and
dated a
counted.
baller?
No,
Oh.
I'm not saying.
Oh.
But mine have been surprised because you live in Atlanta and you will go to a condo or you'll go to these places. And I remember one time we met at a pizza joint and I was sitting around with him and a bunch of his friends. And we're all just kiki laughing. And then we go up to the condo. We're all sitting around and we're just, we're all just kicking, we're having a blast. And we order some more food and we go down to get it. And the person's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what's going on? And then we get back in the elevator and come to find out he was a producer. And I didn't even know who he was. But
a lot
see,
of them do that.
yeah, and the thing is, I never look at a person's, even if they are a baller. I've dated men who have exceptional careers, but I still don't. That's why I said I've never sat back and counted because I've never thought of them as a baller.
Okay.
Because whether or not
So
they
you
had,
dated several. That's
Oh,
your
I
answer.
have, yes.
Okay, so how many ballers have you dated? Have you dated a lot of men who were doing very well?
Maybe like half and half.
Half and half. So half who were doing very well and half who weren't at all.
Yeah.
All right, and Divine.
I've dated quite a few. I mean, at the time, that's really only that would approach me and just the circle that I would be in. I would
Okay.
be kind of around that circle. So, and I mean, like, not on the bench ballers. I'm talking household name ballers.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Same.
So yeah,
So serious.
yeah.
Like literally ballers. Like
No, household.
Oh, household
Oh.
name athlete.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
But you don't like that type anymore.
I mean, it's not for me. It's
I'm
not.
not
I mean,
gonna
you
say it's
have you have to really be willing to share. There has to be that agreement.
Wait, so you're saying a lot of these men cheat?
Athletes?
Yes.
First of all,
Oh yeah,
homeless
and
men
it's
cheat,
and
so-
it's a it's an understanding. It's an unspoken agreement if you're involved with an athlete that he's gonna cheat. And the deal is, you wear protection, don't bring home any babies, and don't embarrass me. You know what I mean? And that's the agreement that
And
you
could you-
enter
and you
into
couldn't-
when you
and
date
you
an
couldn't agree
athlete.
to that.
I can't rock with that. I can't
No.
do it. It's a lifestyle, yeah. And I mean, some people, they don't matter because they're on yachts, they're in Dubai, they're on shopping sprees, they're getting $10,000-$20,000 a month retainer or allowance every month. But I've always been one to provide for myself, so that just never really appealed to me to get down like that.
And you were saying, Marcia?
I don't think all athletes cheat. I don't
Right.
think all men cheat.
Right, no, they don't.
I don't think that's just the case. I do agree that there is an understanding that most baller wives, baller girlfriends have, but I don't think that's all. So I'll say from my personal experience, I think I was young and dumb. But I can't say that I'm going to put that on everybody because there are men that you did come across that just didn't. They just didn't. It just is what it is. But that's just men in general. I don't care if they're an athlete.
There
I don't
are
care
men
if
who don't cheat.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't care.
And I
what you
attract
do.
that type because listen, I'm not gonna be chasing up behind anybody. I'm just not. That's just not the life I want to
Can't
live.
do it.
I just don't want to live that life. I don't care who you are. But all right. So final thoughts before we close out. I want to thank you all for being transparent and being so honest and please disregard some of these comments. I know people are throwing shade. They might be, saying ugly things. Hopefully they're not. But if they are, please disregard it. I can't really control the comments, so I apologize in advance. Any final thoughts you want to share on dating as an attractive woman, Anastasia?
I think men should be more. Oh God, come back to me.
Okay.
I got to figure out how to word it real
All right,
quick.
Marcia.
I think that there's no difference in dating, period. The only big difference is attractiveness, which is subjective as hell, comes with more drama. It comes with more BS. It comes through more BS that you have to sift through with men and women. that
So
both.
you have more drama and BS.
Absolutely, because like you told me, you said there are women who don't get hollered at. There are
Correct.
women who don't get approached.
There are.
I would rather not get approached than to be approached with bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't get into that. What kind of bull stuff you getting approached with?
I think last week's show, I knew probably the majority of the panel, and several women decided to inbox the men.
Oh.
And it's like, what's your purpose?
Okay.
At the end of the day, inboxing a man about me does not get you closer to him. It will never get you closer to him.
Right.
So all the 30 people I block, hi. But if you mention me at this point, there's nothing to discuss. You don't even know me. You've never met me. And even if you have met me, you still don't know me.
So that's the kind of drama you get.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, how could you ever in life assume anything about a person you don't know? I have nothing to say about nan person I don't know. I don't judge. I might call people corny all day because I'm corny myself, but I'm not going to sit up here and tell another person what they are or are not based off of my perception off of social media. Like, that's the wackest thing you can ever do. So to me, I'm fading out from the groups thing. The only group I've been extremely participative with is your group in this past year, and I'm never going to do it again because, like I said, y'all would never know me if it wasn't for social media, and I'm going to continue to focus on my business. I'm going to continue to focus on my brand, and I'm going to continue to focus on what I'm going to do, because you cannot elevate yourself focusing on basic bullshit. Sorry, but I just can't. No more. So.
Okay, Divine.
Wait, what was the question? what was the question?
Took us down a whole nother path. I don't even know anymore. I was asking for final thoughts. Final thoughts of dating an attractive woman, and she went somewhere else.
I went where it was, because ain't nobody got time.
I would say that, don't judge a book by its cover. Get to know the person. If you see an attractive woman, don't be afraid to walk up and introduce yourself, because she might not be what you think she is. She might be humble. She might be goofy. She might be looking for you. So don't miss your blessing and judge based on the exterior.
I wanted to make sure I told y'all about our calendars. I forgot to tell you. This is Marcia on the cover here, and that's James. But we have our sexy single swimsuit calendars available, and they will be at the Masquerade match on Saturday, November 4th. So you're welcome to come out on Saturday, November 4th from 7 to 11 at our Masquerade match. You can get your tickets at mcmmasqueradematch.eventbrite.com. You can also get your calendars on middleclassmatchmaker.com, and we'll also have them at the Masquerade match. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. And that's it. Did you?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, you ready? Okay.
Yeah, when it comes down, the one thing I have to tell people is just get to know the person, like Divine said. And on top of that, a lot of men and women, stop looking to see who else is in the race. Nobody ever won by, seeing who's in second place. If that's what you want, go after it. Stop looking back and worrying about who the next person is dealing with, or who might be prettier than them or look better than them. Worry about yourself. Nobody ever won the race by looking back.
Okay, great advice. All right, thank you all for joining Conversation with Cupid, and we'll see you next week. Smooches.
Best Conversations with Cupid Radio. Your host, Shay Primus on